Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, even though I've done a few videos on showing how I package my long-term food storage, especially my grains, I've been asked by some community members to do a video packaging my last payday prep. And as you can see here, if you guys saw that last payday prep I did, where I purchased 100 pounds of rice, 25 pounds of beans, I got 9 boxes of cereal, amongst other things. You can see that this is what I'm going to be packaging today: some rice, some beans, and that cereal. Now, I think it's going to take about 4 or 5 gallon buckets to do all this, and you can see the other the fourth bucket over there. So anything that's left over of the rice that I cannot pack, I'm just going to put that in my bin that I use on a regular basis, and I'll show you guys how I store my rice on my bin that I normally go to get rice, all right, to cook meals with. All right, so what we're going to need in order to do this is we're going to obviously need 5 gallon buckets. We're going to need some Mylar bags, 5 gallon Mylar bags, and we're going to need oxygen absorbers. I like using the 2000 cc oxygen absorbers because they've done a very good job, in my opinion, for all of the 5 gallon bucket storage that I have done in the past. All right, we're also going to need an iron, and we're going to need a flat board. All right, that's at least a few inches wider than the width of the Mylar bag. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll be back in a minute or so, and when we get back, I'll have the Mylar bags in the buckets except for one, so I can show you how I put it in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I've done 3 of my buckets already. All right, and I'm working on my 4th one here. And I just wanted to show you how I put these bags in the bucket, because it can be kind of frustrating. I almost wish that they made Mylar bags that were fitted, you know, that had a bottom that would just slip into the 5 gallon bucket. It would be so much easier, but don't let that intimidate you. I just go ahead and fold it, something like this, right? I fold it like this in the bottom. All right, this is going to be the bottom part that goes inside of the bucket. And then I give this little bottom here a bit of a fold as well. Then I just put it in there. And obviously, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be reaching in the bag, so just make sure that your hands and that your arms are clean. Okay, just wash them up. Okay, and as you can see there, that went in pretty easy. All right, it's not anything to be afraid of. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my beans, and I'm going to show you me putting my cereals in there. All right, I'm not going to show you me doing the rice, all right, although I'll show it to you once I'm sealing them, because doing the beans is pretty much the same thing as doing the rice. They're both dried ingredients, and it's just a matter of putting it in there. Okay, and then of course, making sure that you leave enough headspace so that you can put your lid on and so that you can fold the excess Mylar bag into the bucket. Okay, so I grabbed a pair of scissors here to open up my bag of beans. And all you do is just be careful putting it in there, that way you don't make a mess. Now, if you can't lift a 25 pound or a 50 pound bag, then by all means go ahead and get yourself a cup or a container that you can put it in there, you know, slowly. All right, it's about half done. Now I'm just going to lift it up and bounce it a little bit so that the bottom of the bag will try to take the shape of the bucket. I do believe that this bucket will take more than 25 pounds, but I'm only going to put 25 pounds of beans in here because that's all I've got, and that's what I'm going to use this bucket for. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing that I did with this, with the cereal. We'll see how many of the 9 boxes of cereal that I got will fit in there. I don't think all 9 will fit, but I'm going to do that, and I'm going to speed it up for you guys so you don't have to suffer through seeing me open every single bag in real life or real time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I've got the other 3 buckets prepared. All they need is the oxygen absorber inside of them. But I wanted to show you what I did to get them prepared to accept the oxygen absorber and to go ahead and seal it. Now I have my piece of wood here, nice and handy. I've got my iron, alright, and it's on high. Alright, here's my piece of wood and my iron. I got my iron on high. Alright, don't be afraid of putting it on high. If you're afraid of putting it on high, thinking that you're going to burn through the material, then put it a little bit lower. But I use it on high, and I just make sure that I keep moving it until the mylar is sealed. And I've also got my oxygen absorbers ready. Okay, I got 4 oxygen absorbers in here, which is exactly what I need for these 4 buckets. So what you want to do is you want to grab your bag, you want to fold it. You want to get as much air as you can out of this bag. Some people seal the bag and leave a small opening in the end, and then they suck the air out either with a straw or a vacuum. I'm telling you right here that you can do that, and you do not need to do that, because the oxygen absorber, if it is good, it will evacuate the oxygen in this container. All right, a 2000 cc is the minimum that I would recommend for you to use in a 5-gallon bucket. All right, I do believe that the rule of thumbs is 400 cc for every gallon. So 5 gallon times 400 is 2000, and it's always worked out very well for me. All right, if you go to some of my previous videos where I pull these out after the oxygen absorber has done its work, you'll see that it works very well. Okay, so now that I have all of these ready to go, I'm going to go ahead, making sure that my iron is ready, okay, and making sure that all of my bags are ready. All right, and what I mean by ready is fold it up like this. I'm going to take my oxygen absorber out, and as you can see, the oxygen absorbers are sealed. When you put any excess oxygen absorbers away, you can do one of 2 things. You can put them in there and you can vacuum seal it with a food saver. Okay, I've never done that because there's such little air in this jar that the oxygen absorbers evacuate that air right away, and it doesn't really do anything to compromise the effectiveness of the oxygen absorbers you have in there. Okay, I'll take these out. I'm going to take them all out. I'm going to put one in each of my bags. Now, once you've opened up your oxygen absorbers and you put them in your bags, all right, time is not on your side. Try to do this as quickly as possible once you've done this. Okay, so then what we do is I'm going to grab my piece of wood. I'm going to put it across here. Okay, I'm going to bring it back to where it lines up with this. At the same time, making sure that I've got as much air out of here as I can. All right. And then just line it up nice and flat on your piece of wood. And the 5-gallon bucket acts as a really nice stand for your wood. Okay. Then you grab your oxygen, grab your iron, and all you got to do is just back and forth. Try not to stay in one spot for too long. And I like to do it close to the top like this, so that whenever I do open these bags again, that I will be able to reuse them. Right? I'll only use an inch. I'll only lose about an inch or 2 of the bag. Right? You can reuse these. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is done. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the rest of them, and then I'm going to go ahead and speed that forward for you guys so you don't have to sit through seeing me do the exact same thing 3 more times. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how easy it is to do this. Don't be intimidated just because you have to get something like a Mylar bag that you've never used before. All right, it didn't take me that long to do this at all. Even the time that I did not record, it didn't take that long. I would say I've got right now probably about half an hour into this process. All I do now is I leave these buckets inside my house for at least 2 or 3 days and make sure that the oxygen absorber is working. And you'll know that the oxygen absorber is working because you'll see that the bag sucks in on itself. It kind of like collapses on itself, just like if you were using a food saver. All right. If it doesn't do that, I would recommend that you open it, get some fresh oxygen absorbers, and retry it. All right, because the bags should suck in on themselves if that oxygen absorber is fresh and it's doing its job. Okay, now let me show you where I store my excess rice that I use. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is where I store my rice that I use every day. We use the short grain rice, just like the one that I stored, more than we use the long grain rice. So whenever I do use long grain rice to cook, I have those like in half-gallon mason jars that I've dry packed. All right, so these things are very nice. They come with a gamma lid. All right. And I believe my wife got me these, or this one at Costco's, right? Very nice, and they are food grade, okay? And now some of you may ask, how long will rice last stored like this, okay? I would be very, very comfortable in saying that you can store your rice like this for a year or more, as long as you don't live in a very humid area, okay? If you live in a very humid area, you may be better off with just dry packing your rice and using it as you go. But where we live, it's not humid, all right? And it will last here, I would say, more than a year. And we go on average probably about 2 pounds of rice per week, because I make at least 1 rice dish a week. And every time I make it, I make at least a 4-cup dish. So that's 2 pounds. So this will hold, I believe it's 65 pounds. All right, so filling this up should be no problem with using it. Look at that. That's got to have at least a good 60-65 pounds in it, and there's still room. So ladies and gentlemen, some of you may ask as well, so what do you do about bugs or anything like that? We really don't have a bug, pest, or rodent problem in our house because it's very well sealed. However, let me show you what I'm going to do to keep bugs away from this should they want to be in there, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, if you remember on my mail call video, one of our community members sent me these bay leaves, right? I haven't used them yet, so this is going to be the first time that I use them. I'm going to go ahead and put them in there. Like I said, I'm not going to put the whole bag in there. I'm just going to put a couple in there. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we really don't have a problem with bugs or insects or anything like that here, okay? But it doesn't hurt, and I've got them, and I might as well put them to good use, right? So I'll just put a couple of bay leaves in there, and it should keep any insects away that maybe would otherwise like to make a home in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you got something out of this, especially those of you that have been asking for a video on how I put away my dry storage goods. All right, so don't be intimidated. If you'd like to take a look at the Mylar bags that I use, I will recommend them, and I have recommended them several times in the past because they're very good Mylar bags. I believe they're like 4.5 mils thick. I've been using them for years. I've never had a failure with one of them. Even when storing pasta, I haven't had a failure with one of them with anything poking through. Okay, I'll leave a link to that. The Mylar bags come in a pack of 10, and they also bring 10 2000 cc oxygen absorbers. I believe that the last time I got some, they were at like $21 and change, but I just checked not too long ago and they went up a little bit. So now they're like $22.99 for a 10 pack, which to me, it's still a pretty good deal. All right, to get a 10 pack of 5-gallon Mylar bags for $22.99. And in addition, get the oxygen absorbers as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. I hope you did get something out of this. If you did, please share this video with someone you love. Someone that may be intimidated about prepping, so that they can see how easy it is for them to put food away, to make sure that they have insurance in the future against something happening where they cannot attain food in the ways that they're used to attaining it now. All right. If you'd like to support the channel, please take a look at the descriptions below. I'm going to go ahead and leave my links, including the link to the Mylar bags, on a pinned comment to make it easy for you guys to follow and to click on it if you'd like to take a look at it. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out. Waste not, want not, ladies and gentlemen. This is my empty bag that had the beans in it, and this is my garbage can.